every business. I have 5 companies now. We'll do 100 million this year. I started every one of those companies with no money. Zero money, man. Just hustle and grit and courage.
The New York Times bestselling author and entrepreneur Grant Cardone.
Manager and real estate investor Grant Cardone.
Business coach Grant Cardone.
Grant Cardone.
Let's say Grant Cardone is a model of something you'd want to do. You don't really want to do what I did.
What is the fastest way to $1 million today?
There's only 5 ways to create wealth, right?
So what is the one piece of advice you would give to looking to 10x their business?
It's very simple. Man, I got a tremendous online business. If I told you what my online business makes, you'd be like, bro, that's crazy.
Hello, everybody. This is the first episode of the Simply Hustlers podcast. This guy right here is the reason why I decided to make the podcast. Actually, it was not even in my intention, but a week ago, I saw his stories. I'm following him for the last decade or something. And I saw that he was in Athens enjoying the beautiful scenery. And I was like, why not bring this guy and have a beautiful meetup and a chat in a beautiful location here in South Athens? I tried to do that, but he was already in Dubai in a conference, but he was kind enough to give me the opportunity to have this meetup for the next hour or 45 minutes, we will see, through me in Athens and he is in Miami, but the value will be here. So let me, first of all, thank you for being here, an honor.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. And let me introduce Mr. Cardone for the few people that don't know who he is. So Mr. Cardone is a prominent entrepreneur, author, and real estate investor. He owns 7 companies, runs the Cardone Capital, a real estate firm with $4.7 billion portfolio. And as one of the top crowdfunders, he raised over $1.4 billion through social media. He's been featured in many, many titles, Discovery Channel's Undercover Billionaire. He built $1 million business in 90 days, $1 million business in 90 days. And he's an author of 11 business books, including the 10X Rule, which sparked the 10X Global Movement and the 10X Growth Conference, one of the most recognized brands in the online industry, the world's largest entrepreneur event. He also runs educational platforms serving 650,000 individuals, and he has a collective number of 15 million followers on all social media. I mean, if this is not impressive, I don't know what else it is. So we all have a lot to learn in this discussion. So the floor is yours. I will start with unless you want to start with something you want to share, I will start with the first question.
Okay, beautiful.
Okay, so I'm in the digital space as well, in the online world, the digital marketing space mostly, but I'm following you the last 10 years or something. So you, Gary V, and a couple of other people were the people that really pushed me to start creating content. And because of you and some others, I have like 3.5 million followers right now, and I keep pushing content out. So I want you to tell me, what is the biggest misconception that you see that people have about building wealth online, especially in the online space?
Yeah, so I think the biggest misconception is I literally woke up this morning, I'm like, I have to get out of this online thing. I think people think it's easy, it's a way not to work. I mean, it's not, no offense to anyone, but it's not really a real business. It's not going to have value to the marketplace to where somebody's going to want to buy your business, because it's so dependent upon the personality, right? You talked about my followers, your followers. Like if you don't have those followers or grow those followers, or something happens to your brand, the value of that goes down, as opposed to a business that has long ongoing, valuable, exchangeable concern, value to the marketplace. Coca-Cola, I don't know who's running Coca-Cola today. It doesn't matter, right? That brand lives on. They can go out and buy and consume other companies and put it underneath Coca-Cola. The online influencer space is a created moment in time that benefited a handful of people. I was actually late to the game, and probably one of the older people to see the opportunity. And I used it to build an audience. But if you don't have products and services to sell, if you don't have a real business plan, how to scale that out to that clientele, all you're going to be doing is hawking, you're going to be selling, courses and programs.
Yeah.
And maybe being an affiliate online. I know a lot of people that made a lot of money doing this. I know a guy right now making a tremendous amount of money in the health space, but he's just a prostitute. Like he's just literally like he's just selling one product to the next product to the next product to the next product. No offense and no harm in doing that if that's your business plan. But at some point you will get exhausted doing that. And at some point it will feel purposeless. But everybody's got to do what they got to do.
Mirrors, right?
Say again.
It can be smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
I mean, followers and everything, the attention you get is not guaranteed. It might go away, so your business goes away with that, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, so if you're a legitimate person in the space providing real information, education, courses, and let's say there's 9 guys that pop into the space because it costs nothing to get into it. It's not regulated. Let's say I'm one legitimate guy in the space and 9 other guys get in it and they're not legitimate. They don't provide refunds. They don't take care of their clients. They overpromise, underdeliver. Well, like even if only 4 of them are scammy, then the whole space starts to look like a scam. Now I've experienced this because, we have 3 other very, very big businesses. Like they didn't start big, but three of them will do $750 million in revenues this year. So the moment this other little thing that I'm doing, this online influencer thing to promote a book, let's say, the best way to promote a book is online. It's not through advertising or publishers. It's online. But there's so much scammy stuff happening in the space, as you know, that it can end up looking like everything is, and then it taints. It gives the wrong impression of these other very legitimate businesses that I'm trying to grow and scale. Our real estate company's $5 billion, right? And we send out, I don't know, $8 million a month in distributions to our investors. But let's say somebody did my course, my online course, or the wealth creation course, and they weren't happy with it, and they throw it up on Reddit. Oh my God, it was just him trying to sell more products and services. So all I'm saying to you, it's a great space to be in for a second, build an audience, get out of it, and go build a real business. That'd be my advice.
So that's bottom line. That's what you say, right? Build a legit, valuable business above everything, right?
Yeah.
And everything else will fall into the right place. So having said that, what do you believe in order to build that? And to build this online business and the audience that can only elevate the whole thing. What is the single most important skill that somebody should have today? And the one thing that obviously you see around in the people that you see, and you say, this guy is gonna go places,
Yeah, it's not really a skill that you need. What you need is products. You need real products that are beneficial to people. 1, 2, that you need proof that it worked for legitimate companies. So here's a mistake that a lot of people are making. They're helping the broken, which is cool. I mean, like that's awesome. That's phenomenal. But, there's that, what's the drug, when they do these drug tests, the one that doesn't have any of the drug, it's called the placebo effect.
Yeah.
I mean, bro, you could just give some people the sign of the cross and say you're healed now. 22% of them are going to be like, okay, I am healed, but it's not going to stick or stay, right? So,
yeah,
what you want is real products and services that really benefit people, and 2, if you can, get those products and services into real companies that are not going to go away, that can become your platform to say, look what I did for this company. Like I've worked in companies like Nissan, Toyota, Mercedes, Ashley Furniture. So anytime I get some heat from some kid that paid me $99 and it didn't work for him, first of all, we just give him his money back and just say, go away.
Yeah.
unfortunately, most people are not in a position to do that. A lot of people don't give refunds in this coaching space because maybe the company can't. They already delivered the service. They already paid out commissions. They don't have the money anymore, and maybe they can't do that. But I would strongly tell people, man, you want to be able to do that, particularly in America. You want to do that because if you don't do that and if you get refunds and people are complaining, you're going to end up they'll shut your business down here. So
It's about marketing.
Yeah, exactly. Now the skill set, what skills a person needs is probably not what people think. Like people are going to say, oh, you need charisma and you need to be a great public speaker. I mean, all that's true. But really what you need more than anything, man, is you need persistence. Persistence to not be like, to not even be recognized or seen and then still persist. Persist when you only have one follower and it's a family member and they even unfollow you. You know what I'm saying? Like, because
I've been there.
It's lonely, bro. It's so lonely. This business is so lonely, particularly in the beginning when you don't have any followers. And then once you get followers, then they start, trolling you.
Exactly. But that's what I believe that why most people fail is that because they're so much obsessed about, having those so many followers, liking their content and, feeling important and all that stuff. So they're so much obsessed with the outcome of their effort that they don't enjoy the effort at all. So it will not happen because the effort has a very, very different kind of evolution and progress versus the reality. So that's where most people, really don't make it.
Yeah,
so
I agree with that.
Is something that definitely.
Yeah, that's a good awareness that you have. You can tell anybody that knows that has been through enough of the cycle to understand, to go back and look at, it wasn't the rejection. The rejection wasn't the problem. It was the fact that you were completely obscure to the world. No one even knows you exist. I mean, it's painful, man, particularly if you have something that you believe is really good. And I'm sure artists have probably have always suffered with this. Why doesn't somebody see my great art, right? And look, this online influencer thing, whatever this is, this temporary moment, this expression of business and ideas, never existed before. Michelangelo had to paint on the ceiling of a building. He was forced to do that. Today, the artist can paint everywhere.
But we're lucky to have it, right?
Oh, it's a fantastic tool. Like everybody talks about social media being such a terrible thing. It is an unbelievable moment in time that we can connect, that you and I can do this. I was in Athens. It was easier for you to do this with me than to meet me in the square.
Yeah, exactly. I'm feeling blessed. And this is one of the things that really I preach whenever I go, especially after the evolution of short video, where the platforms started, throwing away attention in a way that I haven't seen before as a marketeer. I'm 20 years as a marketeer. I haven't seen, giving us so much attention, the opportunity to get so much attention as brands, personal brands, creators, that they did the last 3 years with the evolution of TikTok and everything. So not capitalizing that, for me, is stupid for anybody who wants to build anything, right? So in this oversaturated online market right now, creators, businesses, online businesses, personal brands, you name it, whoever, everybody claims whatever they want. What kind of strategies you are using today versus what you were using 10 years ago to keep you again at the front end, at the front seat of things? Have you changed any strategies to keep being in front of everybody?
Yeah, I mean, I talked about this in a book called "If You're Not First, You're Last," and the thing to do is you don't want to compete. You don't want to be, if you're competing, it's extremely difficult. You got to carve some little niche out in the marketplace that you can own. Now that's difficult to do, but it takes a minute for you to clarify what can other people not do. So that's basically what I'm looking to do. I'm looking, okay, like if let's say I'm a Grant Cardone is a model of something you'd want to do. You don't really want to do what I did or do because you're just competing with my dollars, right? And I already have a lot of that happening. and you want to come try to grab it from me, you're just going to look like a copycat. What you really want to do is you want to make a list of the things I can't do. You want to make a list of what Grant Cardone can no longer do, and then go do that and exploit that thing I can't go do. Just for everybody out there in the influencer, content creator world, like I don't even want to be in this world anymore. So you guys can have the whole thing. I'll give the whole thing to you because I'm trying to go to this other place, right? Somebody's always trying to go someplace in life, right? And if I can figure out where you're going, then you're going to leave this path. You're going to leave this road, right, for somebody else to have. And I'm going to another place right now, and I'm interested in going someplace. So that's what you want to do with your competition. You got to make a list of like where is your competition, have their focus, where's their attack plan, what are they trying to hold on to, what challenges do they have, where are they strong, and where are they weak. And typically where a person is strong is actually where they're weakest. You know, your assets tend to be the things you want to protect the most. And like my kids, I got 2 kids, right? I would stop everything. Nothing matters to me if my kids are under a threat. So my kids, as much of an asset as they are, they actually become a liability.
You're weak, yeah.
My real estate is a massive, it's something I want to go from 5 billion to 50 billion. I will drop everything to go do that thing, right? So, and look, man, I got a tremendous online business. Like if I told you what my online business makes, you'd be like, bro, that's crazy. And it's an insane amount of money, but I would leave it. I don't want to leave it because it's taking care of me and it's funding a bunch of other activities. And so I'm in this world, I'm in the in-between. So how do you dominate? You dominate by finding out what a guy or gal can do. 1, 2, the other way is to not compete, but to collaborate with. Like what you and I are doing right now is a collaboration. It's not a competition.
Exactly.
Now, and most people do not know how to collaborate. They collaborate and then they abuse that relationship. Like you know, they use it for a second, particularly on the online thing. There's just a lot of unprofessionalism that happens here, but not always the case. And
it's true.
Yeah. Well, you know,
it's true. And to be honest, when I entered the digital marketing space as a content creator, because I realized that, you know, I cannot be a digital marketeer and, you know, have leads running through my door without, you know, putting myself out and proving my worth and my authority. I was very skeptical about, you know, other digital marketeers commenting on my posts, asking me things on the DM. I was like very protective, like, you know, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
But when I realized that these guys were my biggest fans and the guys that propelled my growth, the first tier of people that really propelled my growth, my whole notion about competition changed.
Yeah.
So it became a group of people that were supporting each other as content creators, commenting on our posts, DMing people, making collab posts, sharing their posts in their stories. And I couldn't believe that before. Just because I decided to become, you know, open and decide that, you know, there's no such thing as competition, really.
Yeah. Yeah, there really isn't. I agree with that. I mean, it's not really like people can buy it from you and still buy it from me. And
Exactly.
I have people that don't buy anything from me, and then all of a sudden they invest $500,000 with me in my real estate. Like, so you just got to find the right thing at the right time. Money is moving. Money is a currency, right? It's a current. It's moving around the planet. It almost never stops. And the people that save it are the ones you're really worried about. It just sits there and basically disintegrates. It goes down in value. It's better just to have the money moving around, buying shoes and then jackets and then course and then taking the course money, improving yourself, buying some real estate. Like the money's just moving along. And unfortunately, like in Greece, things aren't moving fast enough. Same thing in Italy. There's parts of Europe that are just slowing down. But if you go to Dubai, dude, everything's moving fast.
I know. It's very different. It's a very different reality. Even now that we have a huge explosion here with real estate and everything that I know that you're very much aware of because of a big project coming here in Greece, the Elliniko project. But despite that, you know, things are in a very amateur level. Nothing happens. The government doesn't help a lot. a toll to have things going fast, and the investment in real estate is not worth it right here. I mean, the whole thing with flipping real estate and building a portfolio like you did, like you do in US, doesn't work right here for many reasons. It's very different.
Yeah, you just don't have enough activity.
Exactly.
You got to have activity in any game. You have to have a lot of activity, right? For whether it's a movie, a ball game, or real estate, or the economy, or online, you need activity, a lot of activity. And so it's not enough to sell 10 pencils, right? Because you need volumes and lots of activity in any business. You need volumes and activity of customers and prospects and possibility. That is the beautiful thing about online, man. Like if a person is persistent and creative, they can build a massive audience online that you could never build. 10 or 15 years ago, it was impossible to build this kind of audience.
That's true. That's true. And you were one of the first people that did it, actually. Tell me, when was the year when you hit your first million on YouTube? Do you remember?
When I made my first $1 million on YouTube?
No, the first 1 million followers.
Oh, million subscribers? How many? When was it? 2019. Took me 7 years.
7 years.
But we
so
didn't know. We didn't know what we were doing, bro. Like we like YouTube was like nobody. There was no shorts. There was no hashtags. There was no nobody even knew what YouTube was. They weren't doing movies on YouTube.
Production value was very low.
This didn't exist. This device didn't exist. Okay, shorts, reels, loops, avatars, none of that shit existed. Okay, and so I remember the first time somebody told me about it. Johnny didn't exist. I was in Los Angeles, California, and there was a guy in my office. He was a minister at a church, and he was trying to get me to give money to the church. And I think it was 2010. And he says, you should get on Facebook. And I said, Facebook? Bro, I ain't got time for Facebook. The whole world's, I'm getting my face ripped off. What are you talking about? I'm about to go bankrupt and get out of my office. I don't have time for this. And I'm definitely not giving money to the charity now. So true story. The guy leaves my office. I remember it like it was yesterday, man. Okay. I didn't have YouTube or Facebook. I was 50, 52 years old at the time. And I'm like, man, that's some dumbass. I cannot even believe I made time for that dumbass. Like I'm literally, and then I'm like, you sound like an old man, bro. You don't even know what Facebook is.
Yeah, true.
And I said, let me go see what Facebook is. I swear, this is exactly what happened in this story. Okay. I open up Facebook. What is it? Facebook.com. Started an account. I'm like, okay. Grant Cardone's going to be the name on the handle. Okay, I need a picture, okay? All right, and then I did a post. What's a post? Hey, how's everybody doing today? I don't even know if we can find my first post on Facebook. It was not a fan page either. I was so stupid that I'm like, I'm just going to open any account. I didn't know to open a page where I could have more than 5,000. Well, I had 5,000 followers in maybe a year. Took maybe a year to get that. Then I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna start a YouTube account. Now back in those days, man, if I had either one, to me they were all the same. By the way, Facebook, YouTube, there was no difference in any of this stuff. Yeah. I remember having like three people saw my post, and I was like, this is amazing. Okay, this is amazing that 3 people, and I don't know who they are, saw something that I wrote. And then I remember doing a video and 16 people saw it. I don't know, Johnny, if you can pull the first YouTube video. How many people saw that first YouTube video?
Almost viral.
And I went to my wife and I'm like, I had 16 people watch a video and I don't even know who these people are. And then I started getting excited. Now today when people do this, they're like, oh man, only 16 people watch. You guys got to understand, man, that's 16 people you didn't know. That is 16,000 times bigger audience than you had before you did that. How many? Yeah. So, anyway, that was, today we have, I don't even know what we have for subs today. Do you know what I have? A couple million subs?
Should be somewhere like that. I
Yeah.
think it is 15 in total with Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah, I mean,
altogether.
we got, yeah. So combined, it's about 15 million, but I think there's a couple million subs on YouTube. I love YouTube. YouTube's my favorite of all the.
That's where I discovered you, to be honest. That's where I learned
Yeah.
about you. That's where I started following you. That's
Can I-
where I saw your sales tutorials and everything. You know, the viral videos that put you in the map, not only in US but also in Europe and other places. I'm pretty sure you see the
Yeah.
demographics, how popular those videos are.
Yeah.
In Europe as well.
Yeah, but
so-
I'm lucky that you found me like that, because really what I should do is I should have a YouTube channel in Greece. I should have one in Italy. I should have one in China. I should have one in, like, it's stupid and arrogant that me and my team think that we can just have one in America. If you're in Mexico, you're not going to find Grant.
In Spanish, you would make
Exactly.
so much noise.
Exactly,
So much
dude.
noise.
I got 40 million people in America that Spanish is their first language, and we're not. The channel should be in Spanish, but
Totally. You need to create a new channel, transcribe everything, subtitle. I mean, with AI now, it's easier than ever, even with your voice, right?
Yeah.
You could be talking in Spanish, having all your videos that are evergreen because your niche is evergreen in general, right? So it's very easy for you.
from 2007, to 2008, my first video had 50 views.
What was the topic?
What was the topic? You remember, Johnny? Yeah. Who knows, dude? I didn't know what to talk about. We didn't have a plan, and we still
So what
don't.
would
By
what
the
made
way,
you continue?
I am
you
one
didn't
of the
even
most-
know why you were there. You didn't see, any crazy attention. So why did you continue?
Sales training and sales motivation. Like, who wants to watch that? Nobody.
Relevant today, though, huh? It's relevant today, though.
It's still up there
17
today.
years
dude.
later, it's still relevant.
Yeah. I'll send it to you so you can insert it into this.
Yes, please.
Into your.
I want to put it in the video.
Yeah, but look, we didn't have a plan right now. Now, just so everybody understands, like, we still don't have a plan. Like Mr. Beast, man, he spends all this time, making sure he gets 1 billion views. I mean, we've never done that. I don't try to get 1 billion views or go hyperbolic. What's it called? What's that word? When it goes all over the place? Viral. We've never had a viral plan. Now, that being said, I've sold $1 billion worth of products over the internet, and I've raised $1.4 billion. So there's more than a couple of ways to do this thing, and we put out a lot of content. And even Google or YouTube in this case says, look, the way you do it is hard to find. We don't know what you're talking about. Your channel's very difficult to watch. So I don't have this. I just want everybody to know, if you're looking to be a YouTube genius, I am not the model.
Yeah, but you were yourself. For me, that's the best model always. I mean, when you have some kind of knowledge, some kind of experience, and you just, open the camera and you are yourself genuinely,
Yeah.
and you have something to say, this will impact some people.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I know. But I mean, you know, people should study. Like, there's science behind this thing now. Like, there's ways to
Sure. But it
I
still
guess
works.
there. But it just goes to show you, a guy like me that doesn't even know what he's doing. The thing was, I wanted to share my message with people. I didn't think, oh my God, I'm gonna make $1 billion here. Never dreamed. Like, I was just doing this out of survival. I'm like, I need people to know my name, because if they don't know my name, it doesn't matter what my product is.
So personal branding played a huge role for you, right?
Well, it wasn't the branding. To me, that's not branding, right? That's just
Everybody, when
trying to get
he
known.
sees their
Bra-
business, he thinks
brand-
of your face, right? That's personal branding, right?
No, branding would be to me. Branding would be, branding for you would be the Greek guy with the blue hat, right? Like, you're the Greek guy.
The accent, everything, yeah.
Yeah. So in America, like in the beginning, I was the sales guy, and then I went from the sales guy to the marketing guy. They said, oh, that marketing guy on YouTube. And then I went from the marketing guy to the real estate guy. And so my brand has actually changed over time. Like you definitely want to mature the brand. And I mean, one day in the future, I'm going to be the guy that started that bank.
That's the plan?
That's the founder of the Cardone Bank. That's that bank. That's that banker. People won't even remember me as a sales guy or a marketing guy.
Yeah, the end game can be very different.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Especially when you are in the trajectory that you are right now, right?
Yeah, yeah, and you know it's difficult while you're in that, right? Because you don't want to abandon the fuel you have in your machine to keep going.
That's very difficult. So, in scaling this business from the sales guy who is just experimenting, with different stuff, coming out of a very difficult life that you had, I'm aware.
Yeah.
You obviously, to scale that massive business that you have right now, having a private jet and all that fancy stuff that I see, many people are getting excited about.
Yeah.
You had a good selection of people around you. And also, you created the systems to do that, right?
Yeah.
So, can you tell me a bit the biggest challenges in those cases in building the systems and finding the right people to do that?
Well, on finding the right people is, like you need a machine. You need success. The trick to finding great people is two things. One, build success. Because other successful people want to be part of success. It's probably the greatest hack there is, man. Just have a winning team. I mean, you don't even need a winning team. You just need to win. Win. Okay? And then all of a sudden, Johnny's like, I want to play for him, bro. That guy knows how to win. There's two of us. And then Jared's like, shit. Now, in the beginning, bro, I was everything. I was the quarterback. I was the receiver. I mean, still today, if we're coming up short, I'm like, give me the goddamn ball. You give me the ball, okay? I am the guy to give the ball to in the last minute, and I will, I'm going to win the game. Because winning attracts people, and it keeps people. So number one, you got to win. Two, you have to win at bigger levels all the time. You can't just keep winning the same ring over and over. Because once the team members have the ring, they'll be like, all right, got a ring. Okay, put one on the other hand. Okay, I got 2 rings. Now what? Like you want to win at other things. So 2 things have to happen. One, you got to win. 2, you got to be willing to add people. Now, when I add people, bro, the pot's got to get bigger. Okay, so if my table is set for 4, my wife, my 2 kids, and I want to bring a partner in, cool, he might come drink with me and have crackers, but he's not going to keep coming back if there's no food. Like, he's got to be able to eat. And then he wants to bring his tribe in to eat. Now the room's got to get bigger, the table's got to get bigger, the food's got to get bigger, the profits have to get bigger is my point. So 1, you got to win, and 2, and this is a big mistake a lot of entrepreneurs make. You guys make enough money for yourself and your family, but you don't make enough money for anybody else. And then people come in, they watch your model. They're like, shit, I can do that. If I do it only half as good as he does it, I'm still going to get paid more money. And they leave. And then you blame them for leaving. But the truth is, you shouldn't blame them. You didn't build a table that could expand. That table's got to get bigger and bigger. I don't own 7 companies or 27 companies is what we're partners in today. I don't own 27 companies because I just want to. It's because that is survival. In order to bring new people in, I need to be able to take risk in new partnerships, in other people, and continue to expand the table.
So do you believe in solopreneurship?
No, I mean, I don't. I think anybody that says they're going to be a solopreneur is you're either arrogant or you're ignorant or you're both, because I don't even know what you're talking about. Like that, there's no survival in going solo. No one in the history of the world has ever done anything impressionable that went by themselves.
True.
I mean,
I know some people
Jesus
that make
didn't even
a
roll.
couple of
You
million.
guys in Greek, y'all believe in Jesus, right?
Some of us do, some of us don't.
Okay, but like even if you don't believe in him, at least you know him. Even Jesus didn't roll by himself.
True.
Allah didn't roll by himself.
I agree with you.
You know,
agree
I
with
know.
you.
So I mean, maybe Tarzan probably swung from the trees by himself. But yeah, he had the gorillas and he had Jane.
That's true. But in today's online reality, there are many people that are, creating content, making some sponsorship money out of it, having some courses. They might have a paid community, they might have a product. So with a couple of virtual assistants, they can accommodate a business that can make a couple of millions. And
Yeah.
for them, it's absolutely fine. For me, the only question on this is how sustainable it is. Because if you don't, for me, in business, there is no stability. It's either
Yeah.
you go up or down. There's no stability because you can never guarantee stability
Yeah.
in business. What is your view on that?
I mean, you need people, man. I mean, you need people. You need a team. AI is not. I know everybody's pumping the AI, thing. AI is so it isn't there yet. Like, it's not even close to being there yet. Now,
Yeah,
will it
it's
get
nothing.
there? Yeah, probably it'll get there, but when, bro? It can't even tell. Most of the time, Siri can't even tell me where the hell I'm located. Like most of the time when I ask Google to give me directions, halfway on the trip, it's going to freaking bug out and go into the little bullshit. Like, we're not there. We just had a major storm in America. There's probably, I don't know, 20, 30,000 people without electricity right now. AI can't help those people. They need food and water, bruh. They need to find a road to get them out of. AI cannot help them. We got wars going on in Israel, Lebanon, Iran. Like, okay, who's got the AI? I don't even have my comms are down. Fucking walkie-talkies blowing up in people's faces. Like, anyway, I think people are overplaying the AI thing and thinking, oh, I'm gonna set up AI, and I can hear it. I know when it's AI bullshit. I can tell. If you're getting tricked by AI, it's because you ain't looking.
True. You're not aware of the situation right now. That's why you get tricked. But to be honest, there are many, many things that are really scaringly coming close to the human, voice or the way that you look. I've seen videos of people. I even have seen video from you, an AI avatar that is really, really close to how you look in a video. So, and since it's year zero from the one that we're living right here, right now, I think at least in my space, people need to be at least aware and see what the AI tools can do for them and what not, as you say.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. But I mean, while you guys are figuring out AI, the other thing you could do is just call a customer and sell them something.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean,
Absolutely.
that's not scalable. Okay, that's not scalable calling one person at a time. But I can just tell you of the $150 million that we do in revenue here and across the portfolio, it's probably almost $1 billion in revenue a year, every year between me and my partners. Most of it's still done human contact. There's a human involved in that activity. Anytime we go above an order price of $99, certainly above $199, there's going to be human contact probably 70% of the time.
So you have a system and you know how you convert people faster. Which
We
is
have a system.
through-
I know
through
the
human
metrics. I know the numbers. I know how many people I need to make. For me to have 180,000 transactions a year that equate to, X number of dollars, I know how many people I know need to see a message in order for that to happen. So our conversion rate here is about one half of 1%.
1/2 of 1%.
Yeah.
Which is pretty much the average that we see online. Because many people don't realize how small the conversion rates
Yeah,
look like.
it's tiny, dude. It's a tiny
It's
fraction,
tiny, yeah.
So like 99 99.5% of the people never pay me anything.
Exactly.
But I'm just looking for that 0.05% that is qualified, interested, trusts me, and trust themselves. Like, I really don't want to do business with people that don't trust themselves, because if you don't trust yourself, you can never trust me.
Absolutely.
And if you don't trust yourself, you end up getting hoodwinked because you put too much trust in another person. And even when you trust another person, if you don't trust yourself, you're always going to still be like, shit, I trust them, but I don't trust me. So maybe I did the wrong thing. So now I'm going to make sure it didn't work because I got to be right.
Yeah, that's true. You're very well known about the 10X system, right? So there are many people in my audience, and many people online that have started something. They start seeing some kind of traction. They start making some money. And so what is the one piece of advice you would give to them who are looking to 10X their business, their current status? What is the number one piece of advice you would give to them?
To multiply the target. So if you're doing $1 million a year, you basically, it's very simple. It's so simple that most people just can't, they can't think with it. If your target's $1 million, you multiply times 10, now your target's 10 million. Now do the math. Okay, it's impossible for you to make $1 million.
So you mean upgrade the goal?
Yeah.
Upgrade the goal versus the one that you have?
Yeah, you move the target up 10 times. Okay, so if you want to do $1 million in 90 days, you move the target to $10 million, and then you do the math on the 10 million, and you're going to at least get the million. You're going to come up short.
Shoot for the stars, right?
Huh?
Shoot for the stars. Shoot for the stars.
Yeah,
Shoot for the stars, and you're going to end up on the...
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to shoot for the stars, you could just make it $1 billion, though, or 10 billion or $1 trillion. At some point, you got to say, okay, wait, I need some math that's real here. Right? So I need something so I got to start from someplace that's real. Let's say the guy's making $30,000 a month. Or $30,000 a year. He works in Greece. He's driving a car right now, and he makes $2,500 a month, 30 grand a year. He's got an apartment, a wife, and 2 kids, and he's just struggling, dude. Okay, so he comes to me for advice and says, "Hey, man, what do I do?" I said, "Bro, first thing we got to do is change your target. Your target needs to be, we're going to 10x the target. It's an arbitrary. It's completely made up. There is no science here. I want everybody to understand this is not like, we've done some theory analyst proven statistics on this. But I do know this. He cannot live on 30 grand. I don't need a science experiment or a bunch of economists to tell me he can live on 30 grand, because he can't. So I also know that for him to go from 30 grand to 33 grand a year is going to be very, very difficult. Again, I don't need a science experiment. I don't need a doctor's degree. If you go from 30,000 to 33,000, even if you pull it off, nothing will have changed. Life didn't change, so you will give up on it. Basically, you'll break because it's not worth the lift. You understand? Like, it's not worth the effort.
Sure.
Now, to go from 30 grand to 300 grand, all of a sudden my life changes, because I go from making 30 grand a year to 25,000 a month. And now my life changed it a little bit. Okay? You're not going to hit it, just so everybody knows, you're not going to hit the 10x. Because even if the guy figured out, okay, what do I have to do now? What do I have to do to go from 30 to 300? Well, I got to quit driving a car every day. Well, I can't quit driving a car every day because that's how I pay my family. Good. So what are you going to do? So then you're going to start looking for who else makes 30,000 a month, not 30 grand a year. Well, it's not people that drive cars. And then he's going to start looking for other opportunities. How could I? Okay. We're going to teach him in the 10X rule how to do the math on that. How does 300 grand a year, how many different ways could I break that down? I could get 300,000 people to give me $1. I could get 150,000 people to give me $2. I could get 100,000 people to give me $3. Like, you just start breaking the math down. Then you pick the product or the service.
And it's important for people to make this exercise, to take a whiteboard, and write down exactly the target, break it down in small pieces, and understand how many of those small pieces they need to get to that. It's very important for the brain. So, 10X, 10X, 10X. It's very important for people to make this exercise, to take a whiteboard, write down exactly the target, break it down in small pieces, and understand how many of those small pieces they need to get to that. It's very important for the brain. So, 10X, 10X, 10X. It's very important for people to make this exercise, to take a whiteboard, write down exactly the target, break it down in small pieces, and understand how many of those small pieces they need to get to that. if somebody asks you here today, your son, right? If he asks you, what is the fastest way to get to $1 million today? How would you start today to get to the first million that you would ever experience in your bank account? Would it be through investment in real estate? Would it be by doing something online, by creating a digital funnel or something? What would you recommend to somebody?
Oh, by the way, the 300 grand a year is 57 cents a minute. So that's what I'm gonna break it
Sounds
down
good.
to. Okay.
That's good.
So what would I tell my son? Well, I'd tell my son, take
For somebody who wants to
I
start.
would tell my son to take over my empire. Don't be an idiot, dude. Okay.
Okay, let's go for somebody who doesn't have Grant Cardone's dad.
Yeah. But look, there's only 5 ways to create wealth, right? One is to inherit it. It's very difficult to inherit money. If you're smart enough to figure out who your parents are going to be and come back and be the children of rich parents, that is the smartest hack in the world. Okay, but you got to believe in reincarnation, and you got to believe that the kid can do the picking. My kids happen to believe they picked me. Second way is to marry.
I didn't pick well, personally.
Yeah. Second way is to marry into the money. You can marry more money in one day than you can make in many lifetimes. I highly recommend marrying money, but inheriting and marrying both require a sacrifice of some. You got to give something up. Okay. The third way is to either start a business, buy a business, or to join somebody in a business. That's the third way. The failure rate on this is tremendous. It's like a 95% failure rate. You're not going to make it. You could actually make less. You could actually make more money working for somebody than the average person. The average employee that works in my company makes more than 67% of all the privately owned businesses in America.
That's crazy.
Okay. The fourth way to get rich is to be an investor. That is the easiest way, by the way. Number 4 is the easiest way of all.
What kind of investment you mean?
Investments in anything. I mean, if you bought
I mean, right now, what would be for you the go place for an investment? Would be real estate in a specific area?
Well, I mean, America's having we're having a massive correction over here, so I think real estate's a great thing to buy. I mean, it could be Bitcoin. If Bitcoin goes to $1 million or $3 million or whatever they think, I mean, somebody's going to make a lot of money there. AI, if you're smart enough to invest in the one AI company or the 3 AI companies that are going to make it out of the 3,000 that are out there, there's going to be 2,997 failures and 3 winners. So if you're lucky enough to be an insider and you know what to invest in, I mean, investing's a simple thing to do. Okay. The 5th way, the hardest way, is to get lucky. And that's the 5th way, dude. You can't duplicate it. You can't do it twice or 3 times. You can't depend on it. It can't scale.
But you got to be ready, right? You got to be ready for that as well. You got to be ready for that.
Yeah. And most people actually get lucky and don't even know what to do with it because they don't trust themselves.
Yeah.
So
they don't
what would
even
I
recognize that they are lucky at this moment. Or they don't even recognize that there is luck around them.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Okay. So now all 5 of those, by the way, leave the individual knowing I inherited the money, I married the money, I joined a company, and I got an investment, and I got lucky. They all require you to have self-confidence. Right? Am I valuable in this? Am I valuable as a wife? Am I valuable as a child that wants to take over the company? Am I valuable as a business partner or an employee? Am I valuable to the marketplace, to the company that I invested in? Am I valuable? Do I believe in myself? Am I adding value to the company? Whether you're worth $1 billion or $1, it all comes down to how do you feel about yourself anyway.
So what would be your favorite way to make $1 million again if you start over?
Well,
right now?
I don't have one favorite.
We erase everything you have. How would you start again?
Well, I would do what I went and did on TV. I went on TV and did this. Discovery Channel asked me what would I do if I was broke. I said, I'd go make $1 million in 30 days. And they were like, oh, that's ridiculous. I'm like, no, it's not ridiculous. It's what I would do. I would figure out I said, you could drop me off anywhere in the world, drop me off there. As long as I could speak the language, I'll make the money back. And they're like,
It's a
what would you do? Huh?
Mindset and a confidence thing, right?
Well, it's confidence because I know the strategy. You talked about, hey, you need a system. I know the system. And the third thing is I know how to communicate to people. So I need to be able to talk to somebody. Who's got the money? A person has the money. The bank doesn't have the money. The money's not with the bank. I mean, it is, but I need to talk to a person. So if you can't talk to people, you got a problem. True. Now, you guys that are introverts, I'm just telling you, you got a money problem now because you won't talk to people. And the only way to get money is to talk to people. Money moves to attention.
I'm an introvert, by the way.
Yeah, but that's fine. But you know, if I showed you $1 billion, that you could get in about 10 minutes, and said the only way you could get that $1 billion, US dollars, by the way, okay? The only way you could get it was to start talking, you wouldn't be an introvert anymore.
Absolutely.
Okay? Like you guys are like, man, like there's all these lies. Like that you're an introvert. You're not an introvert, man. Shit. Me and you talking just fine right now, okay? You know.
I used to be. I mean, this is, you know, my extroverted, trained self after lots of training, lots of public speaking, lots of content creation, lots of meeting with clients, lots of losing business, building businesses, selling businesses. So it's, the evolution of an introverted person because I stepped out of my comfort.
Yeah, and I could put you in a situation where you're an introvert again, right? I put you in a room with a bunch of guys that are worth $20 and $30 billion. You ain't gonna say anything. You're gonna sit there and be like, God damn, what am I doing in here, right? I put a gun to your head. I could turn you into an introvert again. So anything can make anybody anything, right? Like one guy says that smoking is the hardest thing to get over, and another guy's like, bro, I mean, I never have to smoke again. Like it's really, one guy can't get over drugs and another guy can stop them right now because they're motivated to. They have a reason to stop or start. And that's what, if you were my son, I'd be like, bro, but do you want to do anything? Because if he doesn't want to do anything, guess what? It won't matter that he inherited money from me because I ain't going to give him any money anyway. I'm more likely to give the money to a stranger than I would my son if he's not motivated to grow it.
So do you see many people like, sons of very wealthy people losing this hunger and this appetite that you have embedded in you? Because obviously you haven't lost it, right? You have achieved so many things.
Yeah.
You have money to say, I'm retired. That's it for me. I don't want to do anything else in my life. You have all that, the situation around you. So what keeps you going and what you see in other people that don't make it lacking?
Yeah, so, I mean, when you ask me that question, I wonder if I'm actually motivated because I see Elon Musk and I'm like, bro, you got no motivation compared to Elon. I'm a deadbeat. Right? I see Larry Ellison, he's worth $200 billion. He's pounding the game out, reading, studying, learning. I'm like, man, what are you doing, Grant? I don't really look at myself as like the way you see me, I don't see me, right? Because I'm seeing me compared to other people. So now, do I have a dog in me? Yeah, I do. Like I'm a hungry guy, right? And I stay hungry. But the trick for me is I trick myself into being that cab driver. Okay, I'm the guy, I can be that guy right now. I could be the guy cleaning a table up at the restaurant, hoping I'm going to get a tip. I'm not the rich guy in my mind.
Yeah.
So
I think that comes as an experience as a kid, I believe. I mean, you either have it or you don't. That's what I believe in people. I don't believe that somebody can get it at some point of time, right?
Yeah.
This hunger, this, insatiable feeling of, I don't have enough. That's how I feel myself as well.
Yeah.
I'm nowhere close to where you are, but I'm in a much better place than I was like 5 years ago that I wasn't able to pay my rent, for example.
Yeah.
So And now I have a team of 25 people. I have a good amount of money in the bank. I feel safe, so I can create freely. But I feel that I'm broke right now.
Yeah,
I feel
yeah,
that
yeah.
I need to do way more than I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
And many people ask me the same things that I ask you.
Yeah.
So it's what you say. What those people have that they're comparing to the dog that is bigger than them and say, "Oh my God, I'm too small. What should I do?" What do we have? What is wrong with us?
Like if you believe that you have everything you need to go look at some things that you can't have that you need. So, anybody that believes they have everything they need just hasn't had enough taken away from them. Because, there's that song that, what you don't know what you have until you lose it or something.
Yeah.
And until you have cancer and find out it costs you $2.5 million to get rid of it, you're like, I'm good, man. Or your dad has it. And you realize, okay, I got to get my dad on a first class flight. I got to fly him over to Germany. It's going to cost, they're not going to take insurance. Okay. And it's going to cost $300,000 to get him over there. It's going to cost him $300,000, to keep him there. And then you're like, oh shit. Or your parents have Alzheimer's or dementia, and it's going to cost $11,000 to put them in a home and get them good treatment because you can't take care of them anymore because you got a full-time job, 2 kids, and a wife. And then you were like, oh, I thought I had enough money. No, you didn't, bro. You were thinking for yourself. You were thinking you were good for you. It's selfish. And like Elon, what is Elon doing? Okay, what is my boy Mike Saylor doing? Mike Saylor could end up being in the next 5 years be the richest human being that has ever walked planet Earth if Bitcoin does its thing. So I don't know what these guys are thinking about, but people all need to know that kind of ambition or this kind of discontent. By the way, it could be they're flip versions of one another.
And they want to change the world, right? I mean that this is their motivation.
I don't know what they want to do. I don't know if they want to change the world. I don't know if they want to be Jesus or they got some kind. I don't know, dude. I don't know, but I want some of that shit because I would rather that. I would rather that, whatever that illness is, or that neurosis, or that gift. Call it whatever you want. I would rather that version of the gift or neurosis than to have the one that says I'm satisfied only to find out one day that was stupid. I would rather be ambitious and never be satisfied and at the end of my life say, bro, that was stupid. You didn't need to do all that. I would rather have that mistake than live my whole life satisfied and at the end of it say, God damn, dude, why didn't you take more risk?
I totally agree with you. Agree with you.
I don't know what the right way is. I want your audience to know I have no clue what right is for anybody. I'm still trying to figure out what's right for me.
I agree with you. And for me, the reason why I quit my 9-to-5 job 10 years ago, I was an executive in in FMCG companies. I was in a seminar one day that was called "What is your purpose?" And they gave us an empty book and they told us, "I want you to write the title of the book. There's nothing written in the book, but I want you to write the cover. What is the fucking title of your life?
Yeah.
If that was the book is your life." And I was like that. I didn't have a clue what I would write on that. And this really, rang some bells in my head. And I was like, dude, what the fuck you want to do with your life?
Yeah.
What do you like to be remembered? What do you like to what kind of footprint you want to leave on this world? What exactly you want to do? So that changed completely my mindset in life. And that's what I, at least give as a piece of advice to some people that follow me or, get coached by me that, wonder if that's a book, what the fuck is the title, right?
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And it can be life-changing for many people.
Yeah, 100%.
So I don't want to spend too much of your time. So I want to close this great discussion. I can go on for hours. But I want to ask 2 things about real estate. So many people are, having a house or want to buy a house or want to invest in houses. I want to invest in real estate as well. So Do you believe that buying your own house for the average person, right? Somebody who has up to 1 million or 500 or whatever, or might get a mortgage, right? Is the stupidest thing somebody can do, and it's a kind of scam for the banks to prosper? What do you think?
Well, look, I don't believe a house is a great investment, is what I don't believe. Now, I know a lot of people believe that it is because you've been told for the last 100 years that it's a great investment, but it's not. I mean, it's just not a great investment. Do I think it's the dumbest thing that somebody can do? Probably not the dumbest thing, but it's up there.
Yeah.
So it's up there with it's up there. It's dumb. And
Do you still rent or you own a house right now?
I own 2 homes, actually. I own 3 homes, and I regret all of them. They're all bad.
Really, huh?
They're all bad investments. And I have made millions of dollars investing in homes. But it still wasn't the best use of the money, dude. It was not the best use of the money. Like, homes break, they flood, they depreciate. Meaning the roof goes bad. They got to be maintained. You got to pay property taxes. You got neighbors that are dumbasses. Things happen, man. Like things go bad. If you live on the water, things rust. Air conditions go bad. You got to insure them. Like, they're nasty, nasty, nasty assets. They're really liabilities. They're not really assets.
Yeah.
And at best, they're storages. They're a place to store equity, maybe. But the beneficiary of a house is the bank and the insurance company, and the government that taxes the house for you owning the house.
So commercial real estate is probably the way to go for people who want to invest their money in real estate. Do you believe that this is the safest out of
I would
the
love
real
to.
estate
I would
space?
love to own all that retail where I stayed. What was that hotel I stayed at in Athens?
I think it was King George or the Grand Bretagne.
The King George. All that retail right there between there and that church that's 1,000 years old, 1,100 years old.
That's crazy.
Dude, that's what I want to own. I want to own that real estate, okay? Get the income from it and fucking stay at the hotel.
Yeah.
Fucking have a bellman there for me. I'll just pay rent every night, okay? The hotel doesn't take care of me, I'll move to the next hotel. When there's a flood, fuck them, okay? I'm moving out, okay? If the room service gets bad, fuck them too, okay? Like, I'm out of here. Like, and then I don't want to own the place I live in. Now, I have been tempted to do that, and I have done that, and I'm just telling people, it's not the smartest thing in the world to do. When I say this in America, man, people go crazy, bro. They lose their minds here. I mean, I have people that love me that now hate me because I say, don't own a home. But Elon Musk doesn't own any homes.
That says something, right?
Yeah.
Or a yacht.
Now, Larry Ellison probably got 25 homes. Larry's worth $200 billion. He's got homes. He's probably got 2 yachts.
He can afford it though, right?
Yeah, bro. I mean, he's on the other side of the universe, man. He is in the land of who gives.
It's a statistical error. It's not something you can really.
He owns part of an island in Hawaii. Okay, but Warren Buffett owns one house, the same house that he bought in 1958. He still owns today. That house is probably worth $1 million today. He paid $48,000 or $18,000 for it. Okay, so he made $1 million. He became he's worth $80 billion because of his investments. One house, the rest was investing. And that's all I'm saying to people. Okay, like if you're a plumber, if you're a limo driver, chauffeur, you're working at an airport, what are you doing buying a house? Take all your money and invest that money. Not in where you live, but in a company that can grow, right? In a company, you could make an investment in anything that would grow 50 times, 100 times, 1,000 times. A house can't do that. And even if it does that, while it's doing it, you're paying taxes, you're paying property insurance, you're paying, to fix the flood and all the stuff. Well, I got to live someplace. Good, live down the street. In Miami, where I'm at today, it's cheaper to rent than it is to own by 50%. So if the mortgage was going to be $4,000, you can probably rent that place for $2,000.
That's insane. People don't realize that because the dream of having a house is so embedded in their head that
Yeah.
they lose the sense of reality. That's why I wanted you to
Yeah.
stress out this kind of message. So that's all from me. I don't know if you want to share something with my audience or the people who want to watch something that's happening right now in your business and your life that you want to share. Anything you want to say to close this interview?
Bro, it's been beautiful. I wish I could speak Greek. I wish I could say something in Greek. And
Next time I will teach you something. I will take you the best.
yeah, how do you say
restaurant in Athens.
success is my duty in Greek?
Η επιτυχία είναι το χρέος μου.
I mean that's my mantra.
I love it.
Success is my duty. I'm not doing it for the money. I mean, I got the money, but I mean, I want money. I want more money. That's all. That's cool and everything. But I want to be successful. I want my kids to be successful. I want my friends to be successful. I want the people that work for me to be successful. I want like even the smallest task, to be successful because it's better than not being. And so I hope that for your audience, I hope you have massive success in your life, and I really appreciate you taking interest in me. And
Thank you.
And the same thing for your audience. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You got it, man.
Grant. I appreciate it so much.
You got it, brother.
Much love to everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Let me know in the comments if you loved it, and I'll see you very soon.